Hey, hey, hey. How many people out there? Give me a shout out. Oh, we got one people out there. Who do we got out there? Cheers to you. Revelation Truth. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Where are you from? I'm from Canada, so we do things a little different. PNW. Uh, PNW. Not that familiar with the um, abbreviation. Newbie here. Durot, hey, how you doing? Where you from? Yeah, Pacific Northwest. Oh no, nice, nice, nice. Um, right now, like if you type in 949, it'll drop. Oh, I gotta give you a jacket in order for you to do that. Or do I just type in 49 and it'll drop the night bottle drop your link for you. Sure thing, son. For just like the last three digits of my username, 949. Hey, Lynn says, see, just like she did right there. Bang. Night bottle do it up for you. It doesn't matter if you're. Hey, Lynn says. Oop. See, just like she did right there. Bang. Night bottle do it up for you. Let me turn my phone down. But yeah, let's do this. That. In relation. There we go. You should all have jackets by now. It's clear in Canada. How you doing, Lynn says? I'm using my phone to give everybody jackets and stuff like that, and just trying to try to be fair with everybody. But where are you from, Lynn? Trying to get an idea of where where on the ball everybody's at. Oh, you don't need to call me daddy. I don't have any kids of my own. I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse or whatever, but I can almost imagine, like many, many, many years ago, my parents gave me the parental curse, and from Hazardous mobile. Rizal, PHM. Philippines. I didn't do very well in geography. Um, but yeah, my parents gave me the parental curse long time ago, and we all know how that parental curse goes. If you've ever heard it, sing it along with me. When you get older, I hope that you have kids that act just like you. And at first, I was thinking, oh, great, that'll be fun. And I started revisiting all the things I used to do. I was like, you want grandchildren, you better hurry. So, you know, I don't have any kids that I know about. Uh, this will be here until you're done. Oh, okay, cool. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Thumbs up really helps out, gets the channel out there. Um, for every thumbs up you give the channel, you give a video, YouTube will send that video out to 7 more people that they may be able to enjoy the content as well. So, sharing is caring by hitting that thumb. That's what I was afraid of, Revelation. I was afraid, like my dad, he said he was a little bit of a bugger when he was growing up. But and I was born and I raised the bar up, quite a bit. And I can almost imagine if I have kids, oh, the trouble they'll get into, and with the intolerance to what going on nowadays. Ooh, I can almost imagine how many times I'd have to bail somebody out of jail. No thanks. Wash my hands clean of that. I'm gonna need one superwoman in order to help raise a child like that. So, and if you've seen any of my comedy videos, they all really happened. Um, like dreams, those are dreams that I've really had. The stuff that happened at work that really happened. Um, you know, I just notice things a bit differently than other people. That's why a lot of people, oh, you're a funny guy. Okay, I'll take that. But yeah, I've been on stage as a comedian a few times until the lights really started bothering my eyes. As you notice, I'm wearing dark glasses. I have to wear dark glasses all the time. Day, night doesn't matter because my eyes are really super sensitive to light. And until my both my girls got felonies when they were 13. Uh, yeah, I can almost imagine if I'd have had kids, what they would have done. So I'm in southwestern Ontario. I'm like literally an hour away from Detroit. So yeah, getting back to what I was saying about being on stage as a comedian, the lights were really bothering me and burning my eyes too much, and my eyes are really super sensitive to light. And I've had to make a whole lot of adjustments on you know how I deal with light, how I shade myself from light. Uh, and it took me 8 years to get photo ID because they kept saying, take those glasses off. I'm like, that's not going to happen. I take these glasses off, I'll instantly have a migraine that I won't be able to shake for at least a month. And you'll be lucky if I don't have a seizure on the floor and if not attended to properly, die from it. I'm not going to take that chance. So the glasses stay on. So, it took me 8 years to get the government to, you know, find a way to get, give me an opportunity to have photo identification. So that's kind of promoted a lot of the most recent events, like the most recent beings in the last 8 years, 8 or 10 years actually. 'Cause it was 2013. I wrote a 5 book series. Um, here's the first two. Um, wrote this. these are two of the five books that I wrote in the series of um, this character that I dreamt about, and it was just a really weird dream that I was like, well, how do you get a dream out of your mind, eh? Especially when it's reoccurring. How do you get a dream out of your mind? It's like you hear a song in your head. You just play the song and away it goes. How do you deal with a dream? So I typed it out, and next thing I know, I was 1,600 pages in, and I got five books. I broke it up into five books, and they're all for sale on Amazon.com. So the keywords I'll just type them in here. It's a whole lot easier. Words on Amazon.com is Maxudo, just like that. So, um, yeah, the story is about a little boy that was born with one ability, and his ability is that he can adapt, adopt, and master the abilities of other people that have abilities just like him. And over the years, he just kind of incurs a bunch more abilities, and he's got a little bit of a witty sense of humor. People ask me, "What's your superhero like?" I was like, "Well, if you take the idea of Supergirl with her, willingness and desire and steadfastness of doing the right thing all the time, and you mix that in with, a clean version of Deadpool with his witty sense of humor, you kind of got my character right there in a nutshell." So, start like I didn't know where to start the book, so I started right at the beginning. The very first chapter is the birth, and that's the birth of my character, and started writing all the way through that. What a fun experience that was! Because if you knew anything about my education past, you, you would say writing a 13 or a 5 page or 5 page book, a 5 volume book series about anything for me would have been like the last thing you would have thought of. Because, hey, Jismar, hey, how you doing? Everybody, this is my friend Jismar. She's from the Philippines, wonderful person, and by becoming friends with her, you will really understand what a true friend can be. You will really get really understand how cool somebody could be. Oh, you're in post office now. Hey, John, welcome back. Welcome back to the gang. I just threw a jacket in cold air in Canada, so I'm using my phone to deal out the jackets. And don't forget, drop 949 will drop your link. So I'll type that in here. Yeah. So yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Um, yeah, yeah. Welcome to my channel. See, that's how Nightbot works. You type in 949 and it'll drop your link for you. So yeah, you have a good day too, Jismar. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to hit that like. It's a really good thing to do. Um, what was I talking about before? I got a short memory. Like, it's amazing I remember anything. Remember, it was amazing I even remembered that I had a live stream tonight. But I can remember stuff from long ago in past. Yeah, I know what the word kuya is. It means brother. It's a polite way to say male friend or brother. Yeah, big bro, brother, big brother. It's just a polite reference to a male, and ate is polite reference to a female. But uh, yeah, drop your link there, Durant. Hit that 949, and you're gonna get some good friends tonight. Um, but yeah. Oh, about my education. I knew I'd get back on track as soon as I found what train station I was coming from. But my education, I always had a hard time with school because the teachers were boring. Like back in the 70s, the teachers were really boring. And they didn't deal with kids that, who are labeled ADHD. Um, like that problem's been around for years, generations, but they never really labeled it until like, the late 80s, early 90s. But in the 70s, when I went to school, teachers, they just didn't deal with you. They just sent you to the office. And I got sent to the office quite a lot. This one time I remember getting sent to the office. This teacher, she really didn't like me because I took being class clown to a brand new level. And in grade two, okay, I was 7 years old. She writes this great big long board. It probably took her 3 hours to write it on the board. And she's expecting 7-year-olds who are just learning how to go from block printing, cursive hand, and basically decipher this new form of communication, understand it, and then write it in their notes. And my handwriting has always been and always will be as messy as a doctor. Even my doctor can't even read my handwriting. So I figured I'll just get as much of it down as I can, and then I'll clean it up when I get home. So I'm sitting there and I'm just scribbling this note down. The teacher's going around checking everybody's work, and she stops at mine. She looks over and she's like, "Can you actually read that?" I'm like, "Well, kinda." And she's like, "You stand up and read that chicken scratch to the rest of the class." Basically making fun of the school clown. So, and my parents always told me, if the teacher tells you to do something, if an authority figure tells you to do something, and it's morally correct, you have to do exactly what they say. So I did exactly what she said. I grabbed my book, I stood up, cleared my throat. It was like, nobody got anything else written that day. Everybody was just falling out of their chairs, laughing their butts off. She got so pissed at me, she couldn't even speak. She just pointed it to the door. And I just grabbed my book and I realized, okay, I'm going back to the office for the time. And I got to the office and the principal looks at his watch and he's like, "Oh, you're back quick." So he asked him what's going on. And I told him after he finished laughing, the class was over. So he gets on the intercom system and tells the teacher that, he wants to talk to her. So she gets to the office and I'm sitting there waiting. Man, did he yell at her. Oh boy. He ripped her up a new one. She ended up getting 2 weeks off without pay for mocking a student. Excuse me. So I was like, "Oh boy, I win one." So yeah, that's not the only time I got sent to the office for doing something stupid. Um, Another time I was in grade 10, so I'd have been like about 15 years old, and the uh, uh, I was in grade 10 biology. Very first day, teacher totally disregarded who was coming to his class. Like if he'd have paid attention the year before, the semi that got my file, like everybody else's file was in a box, all in the same box, brought up to the office. Mine was filling the 53-foot long trailer that they unloaded and brought it into the school. So if he'd have paid attention to that and understood that, um, yes, nice. If he'd paid attention to it and understood what person was coming into his class or what people were coming into his class, he never would have made this mistake. He told everybody on the very first day of school, very first day of that semester, what day we were going to be dissecting frogs. Well, it gave me like 3 weeks to figure something out. And boy, did I ever. I kind of regret it now because it was the worst punishment I ever got. Um, what I did was I brought a live one in and I switched it out when nobody was looking. So, and then when I switched it out, I was like, oh, mine's getting away. People started puking all over the place. There were people fainting, people laughing their butts off. A couple people peed their pants laughing. The teacher got so furious he threw me out of the room. And meanwhile, here's this frog just hopping all over the place. And there wasn't much that done that year. But for the rest of the semester, I had to learn grade 10 biology through a glass through the door. So yeah, I kind of regret that one there. But it was funny. I don't give me too long to come up with something because I will. It will be funny. But just like this time I stopped a home invasion at my brother's place. Yeah, my brother got broke into about 20 years ago. And before you start getting all, oh, I'm sorry to hear about your brother, don't be. For the burglar to get anything of value from you, you first have to have something of value yourself. And we knew it was methods. Number one, they went into my brother's place. And number two is the stuff that they took was stupid. Like everything they took was broken, like a broken speaker, a broken computer, a broken, monitor, something else that didn't work, a stereo system that needed three speakers in order for it to run. They just took it and didn't bother taking any other speakers. And the tape deck were garbage in it. And like I hadn't played music in 2 or 3 years. My brother just kept it anyways. And then there was this bowl of nickels and pennies that they took. There must have been like maybe $1.50 worth of nickels and pennies in this little bowl. Meanwhile, right beside it, there was rolled nickels, dimes, quarters, loonies, and toonies. There must have been about $300 worth of coins sitting right at this $1.50 of loose pennies and nickels, and they took the pennies and nickels. I was like, it had to have been meth heads. So a few weeks later, I was working at a pool company, and it was raining for a week. So we're not going to go out and work in the rain. So I had the week off, and I told my brother, I said, I'll come over and house sit for you. Make it look like somebody's home. He's like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. So I get over to his place, and my uncle calls me up and says, hey, I'm taking your goddaughter to a haunted house. Do you want to go? I'm like, yeah. He gave me 3 weeks notice. So immediately I went over to the thrift store and I found this werewolf, and it made me look like the uh, werewolf from Michael J. Fox, the movie. And it was a really good costume. It had the gloves, a little puff of hair right here. It had the teeth, had the mask, and it looked really cool. I wish I still had it. I can't remember where it went, but I buy this thing and I go over to my brother's place and I say, hey, look what I bought. I told him what I was going to do with it. When it gets dark, I'm going to go, oh, I don't feel so well. You put all this stuff on. Rawr! When my goddaughter when my goddaughter's going through the haunted house. So, and he's, oh, yeah, that's pretty funny. So he goes off to work and I'm just messing around on his PlayStation for a bit. And about an hour and a half later, I hear somebody digging at the door. I look over and I just happen to see the bag that's got this werewolf costume in it. I'm like, oh, buddy, you picked a bad day to come back here, because the burglars will come back and try and get some of the stuff that the insurance company replaced. Well, my brother had news for them because he didn't have insurance, so they weren't getting squat. So I quickly put all this werewolf mask on, teeth and the puff of hair and the gloves, and I'm waiting at the door. And I didn't put all that shit on for the door to open up and go, hi, Jeff. No, no, no. Fool is going to remember not to come back to this house again. So I'm sitting there waiting, and the door opens up, And here's this African American fellow who was picking the lock. Takes one look at me and went, "Blah!" Well, all the color come out of his skin and went directly into his shorts. You could smell it. He shit himself right there on the spot. He does a backflip over the handrail and lands face first, 5 steps down into a mud puddle. Well, I start I start laughing so hard. I just shut the door, I lock it back up, and I run to the bathroom because I'm about ready to lose some liquid myself. The entire time I'm going to the bathroom, I'm laughing because in the back of my mind, I'm like, what's he doing when he gets back to the hideout? Is he telling his buddies, oh, you don't want to go near there? Oh, no, no, no. You should see what they got for pets. That happened 20 years ago. To this day, in a 10 house radius, there hasn't been any break ins. So the message got across. So you don't have to hurt somebody to stop a home invasion. Get creative. It's a whole lot more fun. Um, but next week you get your YouTube salary. Nice, nice, nice. That's good. I can't wait till I get on the YouTube partner program because then that'll be so much fun. I can't wait. I can't wait to report income. I can't wait to report anything other than a noise complaint. Yep. Um, So, Durat, you gonna drop your link there? Hit 949 so everybody can get connected. Get connected, everybody. We're all here to be friends. Oh, this week, yeah, yeah, the 24th. Yeah, that'll be like Thursday. Well, Friday, Friday. You get $100. Nice. Yeah, yeah. That'll go good. That'll be like 5,000 pesos. Yeah, that'll help the bank account a little bit. Um, let's see here. Everybody's. Um, yeah. Where else can I go with this? Yeah, yeah. Your passport. Yeah, it's going to cost you a fortune. Yeah, I still can't. I still not getting mine yet. I have to wait for either my book to get published, Newman's, or get my YouTube channel to the point where you know I can say goodbye to the income that I have now. But one or the other has to happen before I can go for my passport. And then as soon as I get that passport, I'm so happy because then I'll know that I have funding to go wherever I want, and then I will be able to go wherever I want. And the first place I'll be heading, Philippines. March 25th, your flight to Dubai. Nice. See, you're going to be more world traveled than I am. Like I've been to, I live in Canada. I've been to the United States. Yeah. I love RFC's channels, RCF's channels. Another channel that I really, really like watching is Please Act Right. That guy is funny. But yeah, reality check files. Um, I I like to keep on top of how, like, knowing how how the trolls work and how they spin things around to you know make stupidity out of their comments gives me the upper hand as a comedian to basically fire it around and back at them to show them how dumb they are. And when it comes to that, he who should not be named, um, I I just got it down pat on him. Like that guy's just a moron. So, and he wants to attack people for their looks, and then I've seen pictures of him. I know I'm not the best looking guy in the world, but him, no, I'm in a whole lot better shape than he is. Like, even though the shape I'm in is more round. Hey, precious gems, how you doing? Hit 949 and you drop your link. Just type in 949 and you'll drop your link. Nightbot will take care of all the spelling for you and make sure all the letters and characters are in the right spot. And then people will be able to click it. Aaron, I gave you a jacket because it's cold here in Canada. So, um, where else can we go with this? Oh, when it's a singing channels, um, I asking me to go up on their panel to do singing, and I'm like, no, 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 no. Well, yeah, you afford the lot of subscribers, you know, like the whole deal about it with me and singing is when I was in school, um, my teachers like my voice dropped right too early. Like when I was 6 years old, my voice dropped, and it was basically it didn't go in sync with everybody else's singing. So the teachers would come up to me and say, "Listen, I'll give you better marks if you stop singing. You quit participating in this participation class. I'll give you better marks." And I was like, "Cool." So I basically had a nap while they were having their freaking singing lesson. And so, you know, after a while, it was like, they would come up to me, when I was singing the national anthem and say, if you keep destroying the national anthem and disrespecting the national anthem like that, you could be charged with treason. You don't want to go to jail for singing. And I wasn't singing it, rudely. It was just, my voice was, the pitches were like all over the place, eh, and my singing really hasn't gotten any better. But fast forward to about 25 years ago, um, yeah, about 25 years ago, uh, I was in this karaoke bar with a friends of mine. And they like to take me places because they say, "Oh, you're a funny guy," We like to see your reaction on things. So I'm sitting there in this karaoke bar, and they started feeding me these drinks. I believe there was a drug in there that was called, I believe I sing. So after about two pitchers of these believe I can sing drinks, I find myself up at the DJ booth going, "Yeah, I think I can sing." So I get him to play Kenny Rogers' "The Gambler," a nice, easy paced song I should be able to keep up to. My turn comes along, get to "On a Train Bound from Nowhere," which is the second line of the song, and the popcorn starts getting thrown at me. That's how bad my singing was. I got to the point where he asked the bottle, um, he said, "For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice." People started leaving. By the time he crushed out his cigarette, the place was empty. Like people just bailed. It was almost like I was up there making an announcement that there was a bomb threat. Please leave in an orderly fashion. So all of a sudden, the owner, bless his heart, I really feel bad for having this happen, but bless this poor guy's heart. He was fresh off the boat from China, and his English skills were not the greatest. And he yelled at me. And in the back of my mind, I'm having this vision that I'm having an argument with Elmer Fudd as he's yelling at me, going, "You sing a song badly. You creep price out. You make everybody leave. I should call my lawyer. Sue you for lost income." And I'm just losing my ass, trying not to laugh. Because in the back of my mind, I'm waiting for him to go, "Silly what?" So We get kicked out of there, and we go down a few doors down. There's this comedy club, and they're getting ready to spool up for the second show for the night. And I was like, hey, I got to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to this comedy show. So in we go, and I pay my ticket, and I go in, and I'm going to the bathroom at this urinal, and this guy pulls up on the second urinal, and I'm still laughing about what happened just literally minutes ago. And this guy's like, "What are you laughing at?" So you know, being who I am, I just tell him, and he starts laughing. Turns out that was the MC for the night, and he's trying to open the show with what I told him in the bathroom. And I'm sitting in the middle of the audience. I stand up and I'm like, "Hey, you ripped my material around." Well, everybody just started laughing. The MC started laughing so hard he couldn't even finish his set. The owner come up to me and he started yelling at me. I got yelled at again. So yeah, I've got no filter. Never have, never will. Like there's no Gandalf, no little picture of Gandalf, standing there waiting for the next, inappropriate thing to come up and going, "You shall not pass." That's not there. I always react to whatever I see. It's just a blessing and it's a curse. But just like I quit smoking in my apartment for a bunch of reasons. Number one, the wall. I didn't want to wash the walls as much. Wash all the tar off the walls and everything like that. And it looks disgusting, and it slows me down to go out and have a smoke. So I go out and have a smoke, and I get to view nature now. Okay, while I'm having a cigarette. And this one time, the ash, the loose ash, just floated off my cigarette, and it floated to the spider web. And immediately, this spider come out of nowhere and race towards this ash. And I'm sitting there just laughing because in the back of my mind, I've got this crazy thing going on. Like this spider's going, "Oh boy, dinner time." And he runs right to this ash and takes a bite. And I'm just sitting there laughing because I'm thinking, he's probably thinking to himself, "Man, this one's overdone." So, like, can you imagine what some animals are thinking about? Like when you're trying to gig a dog to go for a walk. "Oh, I want to go for a walk. I want to go for a walk." And their tails just going nuts. What's going through their mind? Like, no, I want you to go walk, and I want you to grab onto this little rope and keep me contained. You know, or you want to go for a car ride? Like, why did dogs bite you or bark at you when you blow in their face, but you get them in a car and they stick their head out the window at 80 miles an hour? So, but uh, oh, and then another time I was just kind of looking around, and I seen these just out of the side of my vision. I seen these two squirrels going at it, like they were mating, and all of a sudden they fell out of the tree that they were mating and hit the ground. And I was like, imagine what they were probably thinking to other. "Oh, that was so good. The world moved." Um, so what's on everybody's mind tonight? I give you guys a minute to put a little comment up, say hello to everybody, and while I go for coffee. Ugh, the dog's going for a walk. That's when you just take them out for a drag. I bet he'll hate that even more. um, what else can we do tonight? Um, yeah, I've been seriously thinking about changing up my content a little bit. Um, thinking about doing reaction videos to music. Um, but trying to learn. how not to get the copyright claims and copyright strikes. So this way here, I could do it right and you know get monetized for it. So I'm thinking about it, but they're not done. Yeah, don't forget if somebody connects to you, it's always polite to connect back. Um, yeah, Precious Gems has got a Precious Gems got interesting editing in the videos I've seen. It's pretty cool. Like, yeah, you check it out. It's some fun stuff. Yeah, English Bull Terriers. Where they got like you could tell there was a whole lot more bull in that than there was terrier because for them to be a terrier, it's bull. I had a girlfriend one time. She had just terrier. Oh, the dog hates everybody. Uh, I show up, and the dog just ran right to me, started licking me all over the face, and I'm going. Maybe he's just trying to see what I taste like in case he wants to take a bite, you know. And the dog just loved me. Hated her, but he loved me. Anytime I was over, the dog went nuts. Um, yeah, no problem. Gems. Interesting, pretty interesting video editing you got. I think that's pretty cool. It's just wish there was a lot more happening on the screen, but I bet it takes a lot just to get that one area doing what you got going with your, your face doing the the uh, the songs. But yeah, if there was, like butterflies or whatever like that floating around the screen, that'd be great. Um, yeah, that's it. Just connect everybody. Connect everybody. Like, um, yeah, we just went through Valentine's Day, and I was reminded about this this one girlfriend I had. Like, I've had the worst luck in finding girlfriend because I have yet to go out with a girlfriend that can cook better than me. And I'm not saying that to degrade people, but how can you expect to preserve your own life if you don't learn how to put this ingredient with this ingredient and make them taste good? But this one girlfriend, she lied about everything. That's why we're not together anymore. She was like, "Oh, I'm the best cook. I'm the best cook. I'm the best cook. I cook anything under the sun." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, great." She goes, "I'll tell you what. What's your favorite meal?" I was like, "I love cream of potato bacon soup." And I told her this story about a bad date, and there was spare ribs involved, and I was like, I'm not a real big spare rib person, but she decided she was going to make me spare ribs just to try to change my mind, and that was another reason why we're not together anymore either. But she said, when you get off work, just come straight here. We'll have cream and potato soup, and I'll make dinner. And I'm like, great. After all the times I've taken her to restaurants, one dinner, one home cooked dinner from her would be, greatly appreciated. I thanked her very much for it. So I show up after work, and here she's got this freaking pot of soup on the stove, and she's got vegetables on the stove. She's got you know like potatoes on the stove, and in the oven she's got spare ribs. And then I come in, and it smelled like it was doing good at the beginning, and then she just let it go. About 20 minutes later, the fire alarm's going off, like the smoke detector's going off, and I'm like, you know, there are better timing devices for your cooking than a smoke detector. She goes into the kitchen. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm in there," and there's over top of a pot of soup, liquid. There is a flame a foot tall coming off this soup. I start laughing, and I call the fire department because, like, dude, you gotta have an incident report on this, not just because for the comical value, but for the insurance value, just in case she ruins something in the apartment, she can be covered. There is this flame coming off this pot of soup. So I take the pot of soup and I race it outside, put it on the cement, and it's like still flowing with like flames. And there's smoke billowing out of the oven. And when she said she can do ribs where they fall off the bone, ashes usually do that. Like when you cook them all the way to ash, that's how they come off the bone. So again, after the fire department, the police report, and all the reporting was all done, I had to take her out for another meal at another restaurant because I still needed something to eat. Like, how how did she make it to be that old to be on her own? Like, it just boggles the mind, Like, but yeah, I worked in the kitchen as a youngster, as a teenager, through high school, and this one guy when I got this one job, I got the job, and then 2 weeks later, they promoted me to cook. So I had to learn all the things in the back kitchen, in the prep kitchen, and what the cook does for their job. So this one guy, Rob Talia, I'll never forget this guy. Forget, but forget this guy. He was one of the guys that he thought he was all that in a bag of chips. I'm cool. I'm the best there is. That's the kind of attitude this guy had. And so he had to train me this one day, and I was doing the janitor work, and then I was learning the cooking aspect in my spare time. So he says to me one time, he says, "Dude, I think I finally figured it out." I was like, "Oh yeah, what's that?" He's like, "How to cut onions, no tears." Wow, might need to know this for later. This may be some valuable information. So I said, "I'll tell you, I'll help you out, but you got to, I got to go and do the bathrooms. I'll go back in the back and I'll, peel up some onions for you. But don't do anything until I get back." He's like, "Yep, yep, 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 yep." So I go and I peel up, a 50-pound bag of onions, race out and I clean up all, put a quick lick on all the bathrooms and, whatever I got to do, make the place look nice again, keep it look nice. I get into the back kitchen, which is behind two closed doors, like two sets of closed doors. The manager's office is like 65 feet away behind the closed door. I get around the corner where where I peeled up all of these onions. And as soon as I saw him, I dropped. I started laughing so hard I couldn't even keep myself standing up. I'm sitting there just dying. I'm laughing so hard. I can barely breathe. I got tears coming out of my eyes, not from the onion juice, but from what was going on. I'm laughing so hard. All you can hear in the entire restaurant is me laughing my butt off. The manager runs from her office into the back kitchen to find out what's so funny. When she gets around the corner and she sees Rob Tellier running these onions across the meat slicer, and every time they run him across the meat slicer, he gets onion juice right up like this. And I'm down on the floor. I got tears coming out of my eyes that make it look like Niagara Falls. she's telling him, shut that off, shut that off. You stop that right now, you idiot. And every time I cut an onion now, I remember that. And it only took 3 days. Like it took like a month for us to clean up the area and get that onion smell out of the back kitchen. And we had to grind the butcher block tablecloth or tabletop down by about a quarter of an inch to get all the onion juice out of it. And then it took 3 days for people at school to ask me why I was laughing every time I saw Rob. And then I'd tell them, and then they'd start laughing every time they saw him. 3 days it took. He quit school, quit his job, and left the province. I feel bad for him to do that, but he did it to himself, But don't watch that idiot. It still makes me laugh. Cheers, everybody. People ask me how I can drink coffee at nighttime. I'm like, just like this. Sucks me. Actually, there's a better way. Use an extremely sharp, clean knife. B, do it quickly. C, if I had an onion, I could show you, but you got the onion like this. You got you got it cut in half. You got the onion like this, where the rinds are like this. Make slices into it like this, leaving about a quarter inch at the other end, and then take your knife sideways and go like this and bring it to about the quarter inch. And then all you got to do is just chop, 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 chop. And then you just turn that other spot on its side and then hold your fingers like this and run the blade like this. But make sure you pull these fingers back. Don't put them out like this because you'll end up cutting your fingers off. Curl your fingers back and use knuckles on the blade. But yeah, I've been doing it like that for 35 years and no tears. But I learned that from a chef. So now you know. Some people ask me how I like my coffee. Very simply, I like my coffee like I like my women, hot and all day long. And I take my coffee seriously, very seriously. Yep. Cheers, precious gems. Yeah, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, guys. Ouch. Yeah, if you curl your fingers back like that, and then run the blade like this, you'll never, you'll never touch your fingers. Now, what you do is you bring the knife down, and when you bring the knife back up, then you kick it forward a little bit, and you bring the knife down, back up, and then it's just after a while you'll get yourself into a routine. And I've never cut the end of I've never cut my fingers when I've been chopping onions like, but I did get did get this finger here on the meat slicer once. I was cleaning it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna just turn it on for a little bit and just kind of, you know, have, have the blade spin rather than me hold the blade going like this, like I was supposed to. I just figured I'll turn it on. And I was sitting there cleaning, all of a sudden, ding! Oh, that's interesting. I took a corner of my finger off. Never even felt it. Just I heard the ding, and all of a sudden the blade went red. I was like, that's unusual. I didn't know it was supposed to go red when it got clean. So Yeah. Does anybody get any weird dreams? Let's post that as a question. I get really weird dreams all the time. Like my books came from a really weird dream. Like this is just two of them. My buddy Joe Tong drew the pictures for the covers. But yeah, this is two of my books, of my 5 book series, and it came from a really strange dream that that I had that it was reoccurring, happened every night, every night, every night. So I just typed it out, and what a fun experience that was. Um, I'm just glad that spell check and Grammarly don't have voices and opinions and you know appendages because like I can almost imagine while I was typing that out. Excuse me. But while I was typing that out, I'd almost imagine Grammarly and spell check going. What you trying to say, boy? So yeah, it took many runs through the editing machine to get it so that I could put it into a book form. But they're available on Amazon.com, and you research the keywords Max MAXX pseudo PSEUDO. So, um, but yeah, I've had weird dreams where, like I took a walk from here to 75 kilometers away to go for breakfast, and when I woke up, the place like my bedroom was a total disaster. Like the fitted sheet was hanging on the dresser. I had one pillow over here, the pillowcase at the foot of the bed. Hey, Crystal. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Glad to see you come in. If you hit 949, Nightbot will drop your link. Yeah, thanks a lot for the thumbs up there, buddy. So like my entire bed when I went to bed that night, I had just washed the sheets and I just made the bed, and the fitted sheet was hanging on the dresser, which was 10 feet away from the bed. My pillow was over here. The pillowcase for that pillow was here. My other pillow was in the closet. The other pillowcase was out in the hallway of the open door. The one comforter was at off the foot of the bed. The other blanket was off the bed on the other side, and I'm balled up in the top sheet, freezing my butt off on a naked pillow, on my one naked pillow. And when I woke up, part of the that I woke up to was I was eating at restaurant. The thing about it is what I was happening in reality is I was chewing on my pillow. And I was like, these are the worst tasting pancakes I've ever had. So, hey, life with Farong. If you type 949, you can drop. Bot will drop a link. So 949, just like at the end of my username. So, um, I had one dream where I had died and I went to heaven. And if anybody knows me, knows that that's probably not the place I'm going to wind up for all the stuff that I've done. So, uh, in this dream, I figured, okay, this has got to be a dream because no way. So I just let the dream progress. And what happened was is I was supposed to have my meeting with my maker, and oh, I'm like, well, this is the conversation that I've been waiting my entire lifetime to have. Damn, I'm still alive, so I'm still waiting to have this conversation. Meeting with your maker on what you did on Earth, whether you're good enough to go up, or whether you got to go back and do it again, or whether you're just going straight to hell. So I'm sitting there, and I'm getting ready to have this conversation. The one that starts off with, "All right, what the hell was that all about?" So I open up it's my turn, and I go to open up the door, and there he is, Snoopy from the Peanuts. The little beagle. And the first thing that crosses my mind is, oh my dog. They've been spelling your name backwards for over 2,000 years. So I tell this dream to a friend of mine, and she's just losing her ass laughing. She goes, "You should talk to a psychiatrist about that." And I'm like, "No, no, 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 no." She's like, "Why not?" And I was like, "Because I know the questions they're going to ask. Because I've been there before. I know they're going to ask, so does anybody else in your family suffer from illness?" And I'd have to be honest and say, Not really. I think they're enjoying it too much." So, you know, but yeah, those are the kind of dreams that I get. I had a dream that I won the lottery and I took off to go to the Philippines. The first leg of my journey, was really cool. It was like I went from here to Calgary, watched the hockey game because Calgary Flames is my favorite team, down to Los Angeles to catch the puddle jumper to the Philippines. So I get down to Los Angeles, everything's fine and dandy, and I'm flying on my way to the Philippines, and we're cruising along at whatever the airspeed is, and then 40,000 feet, and all of a sudden the plane drops out of the sky 1,000 feet, drops 1,000 feet just like that. Now, when something like that happens, you're gonna lose gravity. Two ways about it. And while we're losing gravity, I'm up in first class because you win the lottery, you can afford to be comfortable. So while all this is going on, the people in coach are just screaming their faces off like it's the end of the world. The people in first class, they're all used to flying and stuff like that. Here over on this side, there's a little boy whose peas jumped up off his plate, and he's batting them into his face with his knife, and he's eating them up like Pac-Man. Going, a dude over here, he's still working on his computer. The stewardess, bless her heart, she was doing a handstand on the ceiling, looking like a. And I don't know what was going through the mind of the lady that was in the bathroom, who went into the bathroom 15 seconds before the turbulence hit. You can almost imagine that. I'd be like, woohoo, bidet. So I'm sitting there just dying. I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard. And the stewardess comes up to me and goes, "Sir, are you okay?" Oh, man, now I'm losing it again. But those are the kind of dreams I get, like just off the wall, the kind that make people go, "You need a sweater, don't you?" But all us small tubers grinding away. YouTube be life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't wait to get into the YouTube partner program. That'd be fun. Then I'd be able to say, I'm independent. I just want to make enough money to be independent wherever I want to be. Like I want to get my book published. Like I've got 3 offers from Newman Springs, um, and 2 other major publishing houses in the United States. But the way that publishing goes nowadays, you got to come up with a part of the publishing fees as like kind of pay your way in. That's the only way they're publishing anymore. So unless you have X amount of dollars, you know your published work or your stuff is not going to become published works until you have X amount of dollars. So I've been grinding and grinding, and I can't wait to get into the YouTube partner program, get that underway, and then see where it can go. But just I got my fingers crossed, my toes crossed, my eyes crossed, my nuts crossed. I got everything crossed, hoping I can get this thing off the ground. But got to, got to do the work to get the rewards. Uh, but I want to make sure I got everybody a jacket here because it's cold here in Canada. It looks like it. Uh, use the phone as a secondary means of keeping track of everybody. Um, but it still doesn't tell me how many likes are on board. So somebody want to shout me out how many likes we got, please, please. Oh, Jismar, have you had a chance to listen to any Fourth Impact lately? Anybody had a chance to listen to Fourth Impact lately? Fourth Impact is a group from the Philippines. Oh, cool, 6. That means 43 people got the notice. Um, Fourth Impact is a singing group from the Philippines. 4 sisters. They were on X Factor UK 2015, and to say that they sing would be a terrible understatement. Their vocal ability with songs is light years above what singing is, in my opinion. Okay, they did a version of Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, which is a very iconic song. Pretty much almost everybody on the planet has probably heard that song before or parts of it. And to say that they knocked it out of the park, they knocked it out of the universe, in my opinion. Like they swung that bat and that ball just, you ain't gonna find it because it is no longer in the atmosphere. They did the same thing with Bang Bang on their audition for UK X Factor. It's the number one viewed X Factor video in history is Bang Bang by Fourth Power. They were Fourth Power when they taped that, and then apparently there was a copyright because there's a boy band in the Netherlands named Fourth Power, so they had to change their name, and they changed it to Fourth Impact, which is of a more of a statement, more real to what they are, because they are impactful. Like they're beautiful women to begin with. They have extraordinarily beautiful voices. They are extremely humble. They are giving and generous. Like they come home from the X Factor tour because they're chef, so that promoted them into the X Factor tour, and they went around and did a bunch of countries in Europe. And when they came home, a typhoon had come in and wiped out a whole bunch of neighborhoods, and they took money out of their own pockets, bought relief supplies, and gave them to people. Like give them to a relief area. And to do that when you're really not wealthy, to do that just as an average person, and the amount that they bought and gave away was just it's like I'm looking at that going, well, that could feed me like for a good long while, like 6 8 months. Do we lose the feed? Is anybody still here? Oh, we got 2 people back. One people back. Oh, I'm still trying to figure out this phone. Something just happened. Oh. Uh, uh, yeah, they've done a lot. They've got their own music now. That um, uh, we got Tapat Sayo, which is a Tagalog song in Tagalog. They have Here We Go, which is got a kind of a mix between English and Tagalog. Um, they have um, No More, which is an English song. And the rest of their songs are all in English too. Uh, Take My Breath Away. Um, Not the Same Anymore. Times Two, which is one of my favorites that they have. Um, Dance with Me. Trying to think if there's another one. I know there's another one. I know it. I know there's more than 7. Uh, and Irene wrote a single song that she does on herself, on her own. So yeah, they got quite a few original songs. Um, just wonderful. Like if you get a chance, listen to Times Two. It actually goes along with one of the scenes in my book, in Ori. Um, and I wrote that in 2013. They weren't forth until 2015. So I beat them to it, But um, I never really got my book published on Amp 2019. And then right after I get published on Amazon, the printing press is shut down because of COVID. I was like, great. Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end up shutting this down. I'm running out of gas here, running out of things to think about and talk about. So yeah, I'm gonna say adieu. I wish peace, love, and happiness to everybody. Um, I just hope that we all build our channels and build our communities in a positive way, and like, share, and subscribe to everybody. Um, you know, all the help you can get, all the help you can give helps out. So have a good day, everybody. We shall see you next week.